What's up guys, it's Drac, and I can't wait to show you guys how the entire story of this whole costume came together. But this is a Ral Zarek cosplay video that was sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. They really made this possible, and I'm so stoked to be working with Wizards. Now, obviously, Wizards of the Coast makes Magic the Gathering, which made this character, Ral Zarek, and they're also owned by Hasbro, which is step one of why I was chosen. Now, step two of why I was chosen is because I am legitimately the biggest Izzet mage in the world. Like, even my binders are both Izzet themed. So this one has Jace, but also has Niv Mizzet on it, which is the guild leader for the Izzet, and this one here has Ral Zarek. So like, clearly, you guys can see the resemblance, right? Cunning grin, cool hair, giant oversized gauntlet. I don't know. Anyway, I do just want to point out, like, this is my Ravnica Binder. It features all of the guilds of Ravnica. It was my favorite thing to collect in our last Ravnica set. Now that we're returning to Ravnica, aka the upcoming set Guilds of Ravnica, I'm gonna have to flesh it out a little bit more, but first page right here, we've got Melek, Niv, and Nivix Guildmage, who has a striking resemblance to Ral, probably because of the hair streaks, and then in my other binder, this is just my art binder, but they're my favorite ones, so I chose to put them in here. Now, I also just want to kind of drive the point home. My best finishes ever were with this deck. This is my Legacy Delver Burn deck, and so that's of course blue and red. Blue in Magic is the color of like thought, logic, power through intuition and reasoning, and then red is the color of like, we're gonna do it right now, set it all on fire, we'll figure it out as we go. Random elements, chaos, passion is power. It's very, very cool. So the combination of these two enemy colors leads you to tinkering, engineering, crazy people, which if you're not new to the channel, is all we ever do here. So like, I bleed Izzet, but we've also got my only remaining EDH deck, which is of course a super cool Niv Mizzet the Firemind, signed by my friend Todd Lockwood. So that is kind of how we got here, but I've done enough talking about why I love this game and why this guild is so important to me. Hopefully some of that passion rubs off, but let's get to how we built all of this. Hair am I gonna have when I'm done shaking up my L'Oreal Paris Feria?
It'll be enough to notice for sure.
Like, but will it be enough that, like, I'm trying to make a statement, like on the like Ravnica equivalent of the red carpet that says like, I don't care what dragons think.
Yeah, I don't think any dragon's gonna give a heck.
Heckin' dragons.
Heckin' dragons, man.
What if he's like a really smart dragon?
I mean, he'll think about it, but he might not bring it up because he'll be socially impolite. Holy crap.
Who told you this was a good idea? It's everywhere. This is a disaster.
No, it's not. I got it. I haven't done this since college.
Do you have it? It looks like it's everywhere.
It's not. We'll clean it. It's fine.
Bleach everywhere. Alright guys, so we are post crazy hair dye at this point, and we're really only missing 2 parts for Ral. We're so close to being done. One thing is the Gauntlet is printing at home. It's one super huge, like 70-hour print, all done up in gold. And then the other thing that we have to crunch to get done just in the nick of time is Ral has like a leather harness over his tunic, and it's to hold the kind of Mizium cylinders on his belt and back, but it's also just an essential part of the aesthetic. It really covers up some of the seams in his tunic, and artistically, since you don't know what goes on underneath and it's a break in his art, it's really important to have that. Now, the rest of the costume has been so good, we couldn't phone it in on that, so luckily I have a friend who goes by Warlander Leather, who is an actual master leather worker. Unfortunately, they live out in the middle of nowhere somewhere out here. So we've been driving for about an hour and we're super close to their workshop. All right guys, so we made it. You can see over here on top of Ral's totally not a skirt, guys, I swear. We have these clasps, and these are like the bobby pin equivalent of assembly for leather prototyping. And this is Amy. And Amy is working on this bit, which is essentially a collar, no cloth required. And then over here we have this. So the majority of it, this is like, I guess, upholstery grade leather, and that's going to be what attaches it to my neck. And this is 5-ounce vegetable tanned leather, and you can see we've added some of the kind of detailing. Amy's actually making it so it won't constantly stab me right now with the magical leather deburring tool, but this is going to sit here and wrap all the way around because no one's ever photographed Ral Zarek from behind. It's like he's magical or non-existent somehow. And so this covers up all of our seam breaks in the art, and it'll wrap back around and create almost like a belt system. And then of course that is going to attach to this here, and then these are going to go back here. And that's sort of where we're at. So we've got to dye it and assemble it and test it and fit it, but we are one step closer to done. We didn't come this far to have boots the wrong color. So this is it all put together, and honestly, I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. I think it came really, really close to like a happy medium between all of the different versions of Ral Zarek's card art. And interestingly enough, there's a lot of variations in Ral's card art, from the leather straps to the situation on his belt to the tunic, even the gauntlet. It grows and shrinks in size, which I don't think is a property of Mizium, but it is what it is. So I want to go through kind of the components of the costume, thank the people who helped me with it. This would not have been possible without a ton of help from all of my friends. Like, I'm really more prop maker than anything else, so all the soft parts I needed help with, but I think that it turned out really, really handsome. Hopefully I'll have some hero shots to show you at the end here of like actual like doing some magic and firing up blister coils. But the gauntlet is a fully 3D printed kind of render. It's an actual like completely custom render of his gauntlet along with the mask. Those were done by my buddy Reciprocation Props. He modeled them out and then I printed them up. They turned out very nice. Given some of our time constraints, I had to print the gauntlet very fast. Now it is super solid and dimensionally accurate, but there's a little bit of layer shifting just because we were printing at like 120 ms, and then the tattoo turned out really nice. This is just tattoo paper. My buddy EOC helped me kind of design up, because Ral's got like a tribal thing going on, and it's a big debate, like, is the tattoo, is it Niv Mizzet or is it Nicol Bolas? You guys let me know in the comment section below, which Elder Dragon do you think that it is, but so it's a combination of like snake elements and then a tribal dragon face, so that we got a full wrap around his forearm. And then obviously the tiger wizard put together all of the soft parts. This is just a combination of like dyed and fabricated pieces of fabric. I painted up some costumery boots. Ral's like hilariously kind of wearing poof shorts, and then he has these super tall boots underneath which bring it all together. I've never seen Ral actually do this. And I can't, the mask is too tight, but I assume that like sometimes when you're doing storm magic you need this to hide in and breathe, or maybe you breathe in some of that magic and it empowers you to cast better lightning bolts. But the tunic turned out really nice. The tunic is an underlayer with the kind of half skirt over it, then the sash. When you take photographs with flash, this front bit kind of lights up. I got the idea from like a bunch of different Tron cosplays, one of which I've attempted and a bunch of which I've seen, where they use photoreflective paper or inputs so that they kind of look like Tron-esque. So that turned out really nice. And then a huge thank you to Warlander Leather. This is like armor quality leather work that does hold the cabling that would connect like Gauntlet to mask to tank on the back or on his hip. I haven't built the backpack or the hip thing because I wanted it to be super mobile. I wanted to be able to move in it and do a lot of different poses, and it seems like without the ability to do actual magic, those are very restrictive. So those would be pretty simple to whip up, and I'm probably going to make them out of styrofoam later, but I really wanted to focus on the solid prop parts first. So these were both 3D printed in gold. I think that I've covered that already, but that's pretty much the costume. The only other things that are of note is Ral is kind of like, he's sort of smug. He's a race cheating, electrolyzing super maid. So I'm intentionally pretty scruffy because Ral just doesn't have time with all of his machinations behind the scenes to take his 3 minutes in the morning to shave. I bet it'd be even faster with him. He could probably just like fire magic one hand, water magic the other hand, and just blow through it real quick. But I think he likes being pretty smug, pretty scruffy. And then of course the hair has to be completely swept back. I played around with the idea of doing a wig, but my hair was short enough, it was the right length, it's kind of the right consistency, that all I had to do was bleach some of these strips in where I guess the magic kind of torches their melanin. But a lot of Izzet mages kind of have that in the art direction. So between the hair and the scruff, like, it wasn't a super makeup intensive cosplay, but overall I couldn't be happier with it. Like, we did through plastic tree designs, we did do some DTG printing. So like, this is actually not painted. These are actual like printed mana swirls all over the fabric, and I mean, just overall it really turned out very nice. The consistency all came together really well. I wish I'd had a little bit more time to work on it, but again, I cannot thank Wizards of the Coast enough for sponsoring this video. I've been a huge fan of Magic for so very long. I've played it, I've cosplayed Jace before, I see them every year at Toy Fair, and so it was just a tremendous and personally very satisfying opportunity to get to bring one of their male characters to life, because dudes are pretty underrepresented in the cosplay scene, I'm not gonna lie. So again, thank you to all of my friends for their collaborative elements and their help. Thank you to Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring this content and making it possible, and thank you for watching this video and supporting my dreams. I normally do a lot of prop builds. I love working with Nerf blasters, so if you're watching this and you're a big fan of Magic the Gathering, there's a Jace cosplay video somewhere on the channel, but mostly I like making props. If your inner child is still alive and well, consider hitting that subscribe button and then smashing my bell so that you see more content from me coming up. But that's where I'm gonna leave you guys. I gotta go find Niv Mizzet. Don't forget to check out Guilds of Ravnica, available at your local game store, and you can play it right now on Magic the Gathering Arena, which I've been streaming pretty much every night non-stop on my Twitch account, twitch.tv/VampireDrac. It's a sweet set and the limited format is super dynamic.